like a success and lifestyle coaching, like they're just starting this business that they're gonna have to connect with people. What would you say, or maybe some good technologies that they can utilize?
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that whoever this is we're talking about, they have a business plan. They kind of know what their goals are. They've got funding, to invest. And so, yeah, they need a good accounting package, but that accounting package has to live somewhere. And you got to begin with like the bigger picture in mind. So if the bigger picture in mind, let's make it up. Let's say it's a lawyer, it's a lawyers leaving a firm, starting his own firm, has a couple partners, because I get calls like this every so often. Hey, what do we need? Well, what you really need is to tell me where you see yourself in 5 years. So, okay. So in 5 years, you want to have 20 attorneys and X amount of paralegals. Awesome. So we need to build something that's going to be scalable to support your growth. Granted, you're taking a risk, you're starting a business and your growth may never happen, but we got to still build this with the end in mind. Okay. So at this point, the first thing you want to do is you want to find a good cloud platform. There's no reason, I would never recommend at this point buying hardware and putting a server in your office. I don't like technical, but you get a good cloud platform. And even with that, make sure you want a business friendly, like proven platform. And you want that to be something where you're working with, actually I skipped over the most important part. You got to find an IT partner to work with.
Okay.
You don't need this on your own. Yeah. So you find an IT strategist who understands business. Okay. So you find me, you call me. Hey, here's my business plan. Here's what I want to do. Right. Awesome. Now we say, okay, do you want to go into Amazon or do you want to go into Azure? Here's the pros and here's the cons. Here's how the experience would be. Here's how you'd work remotely. So we go through all that. Once you have your foundation, well, what do we need to put in there? Oh, right. Microsoft Office 365. Great. You need QuickBooks? Great. That lives in there. Yep. And we try to create this custom soup that meets just what your needs are. Okay. And every one of those pieces of that soup, they're all scalable, right? So you can have 1 user, 5 users, it doesn't matter, but you can go up to 1,000 users. That's important, again, to begin with the end in mind.
Yep.
I mean, if you're a law firm, so maybe you need something like PC Law. That's what a lot of lawyers use.
Okay.
Fine. So we work with you guys, or somebody will work with you guys to contact them. You get that piece of software set up. You make sure you have good support on it because you're going to need it. And, aside from that, there's the nuts and bolts. You need some hardware. So we got a budget for your laptops.
Right.
And your office firewall and how everybody's going to work from home. You think about spam. You think about antivirus. You think about multi-factor authentication so that, you're secure when you're logging in. This is all like a pretty typical streamlined package of what you want to do when you start something up. You think about your domain, you think about your website.
Right.
You could think about search engine optimization if you want people to find you. This is all part of that strategy, and you might want to roll that out in phases. And that's kind of how we do it with people.
Okay.
Like here's your startup. Here's your, Q1, Q2, you can kind of ramp some of the things up. Really, once you have that, and you're mobile too, you want to make sure that you have the right mobile devices, the right tablets or iPads or phones, whatever it is going to support your business.
Yeah.
But with that, it sounds oversimplified, but it's really not. It actually is that simple. If you have somebody that knows what they're doing, it's a project plan. You just kind of put the tasks on there and you just start the thing up. And the main thing is that you as a business owner who wants to start your business, you're going to be focusing on all the business aspects, all the marketing, all the sales,
right?
Relationship management. You have no time to think about technology. You get one shot to pick the right partner to get this set up for you correctly, who becomes your partner that you stay with for years.
Right.
And I have many clients that are like this. I have a PR firm that is one of the largest in the country, and they started out with the original owner left a major PR firm, started her own firm, and had 10 people with her. And she came to me and said, "Can you set this up?" Well, we built their infrastructure. This is 12 years ago, knowing that they were going to get up to 100 people at some point.
Right.
And so I guided her and helped her with strategy every single step of the way on IT to this day, where they still, they've evolved. Things evolve every 4 or 5 years, but that's another good point. And as you're doing this, you're going to evolve as a business, and you might have the 1, 3, 5 year plan. Well, what do you do when you get to 3 years? Okay, now you do the 1, 3, 5 year plan again, right? So you got to have a partner who understands strategy and business.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of information, but I'll tell you what mistake people could make, and I see it all the time. You pick a one-man band as an IT provider because they're the cheapest option, but they usually have another job, so it's not their full-time gig, or they are a one-man or two-man shop or three-man shop for a reason. That tells you something. They haven't been able to evolve themselves, so how can you trust them to help you evolve your own business? They don't understand business. These are things you have to think about when you're starting your own business. You got to choose the right provider.
No, those are great points. Absolutely. And I think it's important to have someone like that because it could get so overwhelming with everything else that they have to do starting a business. And so
it will.